Hey you guys, so pretty much I'm doing a Vikings top 15 moments, the entire series, as a tribute, if you will, to the whole Viking series in general, obviously, and the upcoming season 4, which I believe is coming on the 18th, so I would say around 9 days, pretty much as the day's over, I would say pretty much 8. So, yeah, so it's very difficult, there's so many good moments on the show from Allison's attempted crucifixion, uh, Rollo defending Kattegat, pretty much Jarlborg's army versus Ragnar's, Ragnar versus Earl, Harold. There's so many moments. So it was hard for me to really really jot down the 15 that I really thought were the most important of the show. But what the hell? It's my damn video, so I can do what I want. And hopefully you guys enjoy it, and actually agree with me on at least 80% of them. So, anyways, let's start this off. Moment 15 for me would have to be Lagertha killing Lord Sigvard, if I believe Sigvard. So, yeah. The reason why I chose it is for, really, powerful, reasons. One, it was a powerful moment. Indeed, because we have to think about the character of Lagertha. Lagertha, and Ragnar, pretty much farmers. They really had a meteoric, through Ragnar's, meteoric rise. You know, she actually became, queen, la di da, whatever, second command, and she, she'd always been like a really good character, intelligent, smart, tough, a warrior, but a very nurturing and compassionate, individual. And we have to think about a lot of things that happened to Lagertha. We have to think about her losing two children, and I believe two children that weren't even born or something. Um, Her losing Gita to the plague, which really was really heartbreaking because you could see Gita has so much potential, and she could have been such a great character. She could have been as good as Bjorn, if not better. But that finding out that knowing that her husband cheated on her, which back then it was kind of customary. You kind of expected that, but for him to impregnate another woman, and for this woman to have the gall, the vaginal fortitude to just come to his home, like just and in a way I felt straight disrespect to Lagertha, and just say, "Oh, I'm pregnant," you know, and Ragnar's pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place. Ragnar's like, you know what? I don't love her. Like, it's all like that, which I can believe, which is true. He doesn't love Aslog. But Aslog has his children. The seer said that Ragnar's gonna have many children, so he wants to protect his children. But at the same time, he loves Lagertha. So he basically proposes polygamy, which seemed Aslog is like kind of like, whatever. And Lagertha must have her right and give her even a lot more respect than already can give her. Said no, fuck no. I'm not your play bitch. I ain't gonna share you. You know, you mock and disrespect me by even putting this offer on the table. So, I love you, but you know, you fucked up, dude. You fucked up, Rags. You know, and then like began going with her, and for 4 years, I believe she had to endure the abuse of Earl Sigvard. And I don't even believe it was 4 years. It was possibly 2 years or 3 years. Because he said he pined for her for a long time. So I assume he probably married her at least 2 years into the time skip. Um, it's obvious he doesn't really have that much respect for Bjorn, and that he doesn't love him or her as he claims. I think, if anything, it's more lust, just sexual lust, instead of actually legit, feelings of love. Which, like to point out to him, and he just smacked her side of the face, causing blood. And that leads me to another reason why I had this as my number 15 moment in the show. It had undertones that are quite relevant, you know, all throughout history, but especially, nowadays. You have the Ray Rice incident with his wife, fiance. I don't even know what the fuck happened to them. I don't know. She might be with him. I don't know. You got the Johnny Manziel, problem with his ex girlfriend. Apparently, hitting her so hard in the ear, she can't even hear anything. Still, stuff like that, and Just this whole male domestic abuse, like so much stuff, I could get into. But, you know, her enduring that, just for her son being, what he should do. If someone hits your mom, don't give a fuck that your father or, whatever. They should get their ass whooped or anything, you can, because you don't hit someone's mother and just expect, for there to be no sort of payback, you know. Her and then her attempt almost getting raped, she by him in a, Earl Sigvard in a drunken Sigvard, in a drunken thing, whatever. And then for her to come back, and her and him just disrespect her even more when she didn't deserve it, and then for him just a cowardly act of him to get those men just to beat the shit out of her, her eyes like, and then this dude had the balls just to, it's bad enough he's pouring more salt in the wound just to expose her breasts, he deserved to get his shit rocked, he'd be like one eye, hey matey, like a pirate, he deserved it, she deserved, and that's one reason why. Because like this character went through all that shit, and for her just to stand up for herself, which we all know, she since his one, she had no problem standing up for herself. But in that particular moment, just stabbed that son of a bitch right in the eye. And sure, the guy, whatever, his name is irrelevant at this point in time. Cut his head off. But the dude was practically already dead. Lagertha pretty much did all the dirty work. So. And for her to become pretty much the Earl, and everyone applauding because we're like, you know what, this dude was a piece of shit. He got what he deserved. Props, props, props to like the character and the actress. It was such a beautiful scene, But yeah, that's my number 15 moment. All right, whatever. Don't mind the hands, It's handheld, But number 15 moment of Vikings. So. I'll be doing this for the next few days. And I'll also be doing, trying to review all the other episodes of Vikings from season 1 to season 3. It's going to be a daunting task, But, I love this series and I hope you guys love it too. And leave comments, subscribe to my channel. But as I said before, this is just, number 15 on my top 15 countdown. I should have, number 14, 13, 12 by the end of tonight, So thank you for watching this part of my countdown, and I'll be back in a few hours, possibly a few minutes. Thank you. Adios.